and welcome to this FPL Gameweek 37 team selection video with me, Holly Shand, and I've got my final chip of the season to play this week. I am going to be on triple captain. Help me get this one to 500 likes and subscribe to the channel if you don't already. Let's get into it. Starting off with how my Game Week 37 went, and it's been a pretty good one. I finished on 109 points. I guess there's some managers that got all their players returning. I didn't quite manage that with a blank from Captaincy, and I'm definitely regretting selling Flecken over Captaincy a couple of weeks ago to get Vicario in, who's done absolutely nothing. Kevin De Bruyne blanked in my midfield as well, but it was great performances from the backline, an assist from Branthwaite, clean sheets from Reguilon and Gabriel, plus bonus. And then in the midfield, we had returns from Palmer, Son, Foden, and new transfer in Gordon. It is really the strikers where the big points came from, though. A big haul from Nicholas Jackson, and then Erling Haaland with those 4 goals, a 21-pointer, doubled for 42. Slight regret that I didn't play the triple captain on him this week, but there you go. And I managed to start the right players, bench the right ones. Dominic Solanke, I got away with benching him. He did miss a really good opportunity against Arsenal, but that's given me a really healthy green arrow comfortably within the top 250k now, recovered from the red arrow from last week. And with 2 game weeks to go, I guess my ambitions now are to get inside the top, definitely the top 200k, but if I can get inside the top 150k, I'm about 30 points off at the moment, but I'm conscious that managers higher than me maybe don't have chips still to play. So there's still an opportunity to capitalise with the big double game week 37 to go. Transfer plans then, I've got just the one free transfer, 0.2 million in the bank. And when it comes to looking at assets from the double game week teams, I am up to 10 now because Chelsea's Malo Gusto returned to the squad and arrived as a substitute in the game against West Ham. Now, obviously, given that he's been out for a while, there's absolutely no guarantees that he starts both games, but I think the fact that I've got him, looking at my other defenders at the moment, he's one of just 2 double game week defenders. It's not going to be the priority to replace him, so I'm pleased to welcome him back and I'm happy to roll the dice on him. I guess looking at my team at the moment, the key double game week asset that I'm missing at the moment is Newcastle United's Alexander Isak. I'd been quite sceptical of his performances of late because there was a lot of returns at home, but he did manage to deliver on the road last game week. And what was most interesting was that he did play up top with Callum Wilson. I was expecting it to be a 3 up top and it would be one or the other, one out wide, but they did do a pretty good job playing as a 2. So my difficulty is if I want to get Isak in this week, how do I do it? Because realistically, I'm going to have to sell one of Jackson or Solanke to get him in, but I've not even got the funds, so it would take a hit. Now, I'm looking at my team at the moment, and if I was to make this move, I don't feel like for a hit it's going to be worth it. With a free transfer, then absolutely I'd do it, but for a hit it doesn't feel right at the moment. So I think I'm just going to have to make peace with the fact that I'm not going to own Isak this week. Looking at my team, I guess the key area of weakness is the 3rd defender slot because I haven't got a double game week asset in there. At the moment, I'm looking at playing Branthwaite. He's got Sheffield United at home. Now, Everton are a side that are now on the beach, but we do need to bear in mind that in the last 4 game weeks, Branthwaite has got returns in every single game. 3 clean sheets in 4 for Everton, all come at home. Branthwaite with a goal and an assist in that time, and arguably he could have delivered more than that. So looking at that fixture, if for one single game week player, that single game week game at home to Sheffield United doesn't look like a bad one. So one option is that I keep Branthwaite and start him. In terms of the double game week assets that I can afford, well, I'm already tripled up on Spurs. I'm already tripled up on Man City. So it does leave options depleted. I'm looking at Manchester United defenders. I'm also looking at the Newcastle defence. I guess the key option that I could bring in is Dan Burn. He'd have to come in for Reguilon because that's the only way I can afford the funds, and that would be an okay move to take me up to 11 doublers. And then I've got Branthwaite as a first defensive sub if Gusto is not available. But I'm a little bit torn on whether it's worth it or not. It's not going to be a move I'm going to plan on making until Friday after the press conferences, in which case I could be priced out of the move by then. So I am leaning to rolling the free transfer, because it was always nice to have 2 frees for game week 38, because it's a fun game week. We have all the deadlines coming simultaneously, all the teams playing at the same time. We do get weird results. Teams that are on the beach away from home are ones to be avoided. Could be that the title race is over by then. You just don't know at this point. So I think to stay flexible, I am leaning to roll in the free transfer, but it is going to be hard to go without Isak, and I would prefer to have 11 doublers over 10, but let's see what happens come the deadline. Team selection time then, and the 11 kind of picks itself here. I'm obviously going to play Vicario over Kaminsky. 2 home games for Spurs. Hopefully we'll see an upturn in their form, and it is going to be a double up on the Spurs defence, because I have got Pedro Porro as well, who's been really disappointing in the last few games, but we know that he's the defender with the most shots on goal this season. Assist threat is there as well, so hopefully Spurs' performances improve and Porro can at least offer me some attacking threat, even if he can't keep clean sheets. We've then got Gusto, 2 away games, Forest away, Brighton away. I've not got masses of expectations, even though we've seen an upturn in Chelsea's defensive form. There's no guarantees he plays both games, but I've got to roll the dice on him. And completing the back line then, we have got Branthwaite, who's been in great form, home to Sheffield United. To be honest, the fixture couldn't get much better than that, so as a single game week option, I am happy to roll the dice on him. Then moving into a midfield, and it is a 3-5-2 formation. So we've got Anthony Gordon, we've got De Bruyne and Foden. Pretty excited about that Manchester City double up. Son, Spurs' performances have been poor, but Son somehow managed to get himself goals in recent games, and with the home game, hopefully he keeps that going. We've then got Palmer, 2 away games for him, and it is the triple up on both Chelsea and Manchester City, because we've got Jackson and Erling Haaland up front. Solanke on the bench for a 2nd consecutive week alongside Kaminsky, Reguilon and Gabriel. Now, this team has a team rating of 94% over on Fantasy Football Hub, predicted to score 120.5 points. I'd quite like to get closer to that 150 mark, at least try and beat my score from the previous double game week, where I scored 124 points, my highest tally of the season so far. Triple captain time then, and it always feels like a huge decision. It's not really a chip I tend to have a lot of luck with, so you know, fingers crossed I can get a bigger return. I'd love to get a player that at least gets 15 points over the 2 fixtures, but let's see what happens. I'm not going to hold my breath. When it comes to options on the triple captain chip, well, Erling Haaland is now winning the race. If you would have asked me before game week 36 who my triple captain would be, I'd have probably been a little bit more flexible in my answer. What I realised in game week 36 was that around my rank, Haaland was a bit of a captaincy differential. I think his effective ownership was only around 120%, so I definitely benefited from that 4-goal haul against Wolves. 2 away games, I'm a little bit sceptical about the away games, because his away performances maybe haven't been quite as potent as at home historically in the Premier League. But we do need to bear in mind that he's still gunning for the Golden Boot. Yes, he's moved 4 clear in the Golden Boot race, but that's nothing where most of his rivals also have 3 fixtures to go. The other thing to bear in mind is that City don't have anything else to concentrate on. Their tunnel vision on trying to secure this additional Premier League title now. And you look at Haaland, he had last midweek off. He's got this midweek off before these 2 fixtures. He's going to play. He's going to get 90 minutes. So I think the argument for Haaland is quite high, and I don't think that many managers will have their triple captainship left. I'm on a different chip strategy to most, so I think triple captain is going to be a big differential anyway. There are a couple of other players I'm considering. Obviously, Cole Palmer has to be a consideration. His points per match is absolutely sensational this season. 21 goals, 11 assists. My only concern with him is that most of his bigger hauls have come at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea have been awarded a lot more penalties at home than away as well, which isn't surprising. But it does just make me wonder whether Palmer can actually deliver on the road in those 2 away games. And obviously he's had that recent injury as well, which has kind of curtailed his minutes in recent weeks, and that's something to keep an eye on as well. The other option this would be the big differential option. This was the option I was leaning towards before game week 36, and that was to triple captain Kevin De Bruyne, because Kevin De Bruyne's away form has been excellent since he arrived in the City squad this season. Newcastle away in game week 21, he got 12 points. Then in game week 23, he got an assist. He got an assist against Liverpool in game week 28. He got 18 points away at Palace in game week 32, 2 goals and an assist. A goal against Brighton away in game week 34 and 2 assists against Forest away in game week 35. He has not blanked in an away game in which he started this season. Granted, it's a small sample size because he's only been available in 2024, but that is quite a compelling case. Now, City do have the early kickoff, so if we got confirmation that De Bruyne was starting, I would be quite tempted to give him the triple captain. It's something that can make or break my season. I guess because I've just had a good game week, I feel like I've got something worth protecting now. So I'll probably go with the safe pick of Haaland, but I am still tempted by De Bruyne, so it could end up there at the deadline. But at the moment, it is going to be Haaland triple captain. He is the best goal scorer the Premier League has ever seen. City going for the title. He's going to play the games. I feel like the case is there that Haaland's probably too good to ignore. I'm going to try and answer all questions within the first few hours of this video going live. So get any dilemmas for double game week 37 in the comments. Make sure you've hit that like button as well. We're going for 500 likes on this one. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back on Friday for the press conference stream. Thank you for watching.